Today we will discuss about two types of mechanosensing, that is direct and indirect mechanosensing. We have discussed about mechanosensing many times in our previous videos. However, we have never distinguished those mechanosensing in direct and indirect categories. So what happens in terms of the direct mechanosensing, as the word suggested, that the stress that is occurred by the extracellular matrix directly that leads to the opening of the channel is known as direct mechanosensing. And this kind of stress either could be due to the compression that are exerted by the extracellular matrix, or due to the increase in the stiffness that will cause the tension across the membrane. And this type of conditions are usually occurred in the cancerous cells where the tumor microenvironment has increased stiffness, and this membrane tensions will trigger intercellular stiffness. At the same time, it will open the pores in a way that will allow ions channel exchange. And when there is a cancer, cancer tumor that is undergoing the direct mechanosensing, there is a reprogramming also occurred that leads to the inhibition of this GSMT-X4 that helps in inhibiting this mechanosensing effect. And because of this, the direct mechanosensing effect on the tumor cells is more prominent compared to the normal cells, because there is no counteracting factors available, or there are less counteracting factors available in the tumor cells, and this leads to the increased ion channel exchange, and that will aggravate the intercellular signalings within the tumor cells in a way that will promote tumor progressions. And at the same time, if these kind of tumor cells are in the ductal side, then they will also exert a shear stress, and these shear stress are also exerted by the normal cells, but in that case the mechanosensing inhibitions components such as GSMTX4 will take care of that shear stress. However, in the case of tumor cells, the shear stress will also promote the ion exchange, or in other terms it will promote the direct mechanosensings and helps in the tumor progression. And that is the reason the ductal that is one of the cause that cancers that are occurred at the ductal sites are more difficult to diagnose. For example, pancreatic cancer, which is commonly known as pancreatic ductal adenocarcinoma, and that is why it is also called aggressive cancer, because um, it is continuously under shear stress, and that will helps the tumor cells to migrate from one part, from the pancreas to the secondary organ site. And when it comes to the, now let us understand this indirect mechanosensings. In terms of the indirect mechanosensings, there is no direct interactions. However, there is intercellular signaling pathways occurs, and one of the examples shown here is using G receptors or GPCR receptors. So the mechanical stimulus will trigger GPCR receptors, and that will lead to the upregulations of several TRP signaling pathways, or several TRP messengers. And these several TRP messengers will helps in opening of this pore. At the same time, it will also regulate the cytoskeletal reorganizations. That will also support, or that will also helps in this opening of this ion channels. And another example that is shown here is about the integrin interactions. When the integrins comes under ECM stress interactions, then it will also trigger several signaling pathways that will also helps in the this ion channel pore size increase, or that will increase the pore channel size of the ion channel. And these things, when combined with these direct mechanism channels, that is some of the calciums that are entered within the cytoskeletals, that will also it will also cause the gradient difference between the Ca2 uh, in the cerebral matrix or in the cytosols, and this gradient of difference will helps in opening of this mechanical stimulus further. So this is some of the ways by some of the indirect mechanosensing ways by which this ion pore channel can be regulated. And so this is that's all for this direct and indirect mechanosensing. I hope you got some brief overview about what is the difference between direct and indirect mechanosensing and how they work in the case of healthy cells and tumor cells. And if you need to understand more about this topic in detail, you can go through the reference that has been provided in the description. So that's all for this video. Thank you for your time.